All right, so welcome back to another scene for this life, where we are back almost up to the hearth fire, or at least approaching it. Charlotte is has made a handoff, very creepy, icky handoff, and is probably parked up and quickly texting, um, because it's just a lot easier than going on the fucking prowl for a person to message Skyripper outright and ask if he's on the sept and if he wants to hear the results of their quest under Harrier.
You can find Skyripper down at his usual campsite today. So that's where Charlotte will end up, probably.
Oh, yep. Do some Hollywood magic. And there she is, walking on in. Giving a glance around the fire, as he's usually plunked there, bundled up
You
herself.
probably see him in the big, more furry shirt of coat. You see him now kind of semi-unfrozen-ish lake. Just, you see the gleaming of the silver, as he's running the cloth down gently on it, as he's staring out at it. It's quite peaceful. It's quite very tranquil. It's all Harper's camp.
It always is. So she will just come over to find a place alongside him, plunk down.
Just looks over his shoulder very casually.
Evening, Captain Wormfoe. Pops a like
Hello.
smile.
Hello.
Got results for our trip to Court of Wisconsin.
I've been hearing.
Have you already?
Well, the gossips. It's a gamma galliard as much as I am a wormfoe.
Well, I dare say mission success.
Depends on your definition of success.
As much success as we could get in so short a time. It's at least a stay of arms. That's something.
For now. For now, yes.
Every step is progress.
Just nods. I understand you were quite successful in the raid.
That too was quite the success, for the most part. The daughter's down and in the hands of the Theurges.
They'll do good work. He stares out, very tranquil, very, presence about him.
And out of curiosity, did she pass the Hut of the Dead on her way there?
Yes, Cassie's in there.
That's what I figured, which probably means her packmates are close by and hovering.
Melanie is leading the proper duo gathering up apart. Essentially, Melanie is cleaning the body properly and making it somewhat nice, because poor old Cassie's, you saw the wound she took off the daughter. You know what I mean? It's more of,
yep.
They didn't want to do it in Lost Flame. They wanted to do it at home.
Yeah, which means he's already heard about that as well. So yeah, there's just a nod.
Nothing else to tell me.
Do you is it sideways? It depends on how detailed you'd like me to go with my report. Managed to stall an assassination on Signaled, and apparently on myself, which I admit I didn't Is he coming?
I'm assuming you meant the Von Cares.
I did.
I'm assuming you meant Victoria.
Which one was Victoria again?
The Right Master. The one that
Yep.
fucking Victoria.
There's just the serene little nod. I did.
Chuckle. She is a feisty one.
That is a good word for it. Yes. Kind of, again, faintly smiling.
She's passionate about her cause. She, even when I encountered her when I was younger, for one so young, she is a high achiever, much like you.
Very driven.
She's a silver fang.
Is that an across the board trait?
It's what we are encouraged to do, to be the best. Especially as we turn into the guru, we have to be the best. We're pushed to be the best.
Considering the projects she has laid out in front of her, I can only imagine you'd have to be driven.
There's a lot of dark. He'd spread his hands. A lot of dark things with Wisconsin. There's a lot of history. I will give them credit. The Bordeaux have managed to turn it around from what it once was.
Once was?
Gleaming Betrayal. The conflict with the Gleaming Eye. A lot of things were revealed about what the Gleaming Eye were doing in that particular area. Likes of the Von Cares were a more moderate style of the family, and they participated in the overthrowing of the Alpha some years back, about 30 years ago. Just before the whole thing really kicked off.
Jesus.
Since then, there has been numerous. And to say that it was all the Gleaming Eye is to put a band-aid on a problem. There were spirals there. There was worm taint. They've been cleaning it ever since. I imagine there are some things you saw which would shudder the mind, and I would imagine you saw some people who are just trying to do the right thing.
I'll admit, while the assassinations were being intercepted, I was not with them. Didn't see whatever they saw.
I imagine your friends saw some things that they will not wish to, that they will denounce the Silver Fangs for. But worm taint is worm taint. And one person's madness can affect that.
To blame the tribes for the actions of a person or even a group was a fool's errand.
Just make sure your people are aware. Make sure your people are aware of that. Khalids do often say such fragile things when they're young and full of hot temper.
Oh yeah, the fingers like going back through their hair like,
Because I am not the Fianna, and whether I may be an oathbreaker or not, there are Silverfangs who died, who are far more worthy than I'll ever be. And they shouldn't be deserved for that. And honored for it.
I will make sure of it. Once we've all had a chance to settle back home.
I've been hearing a lot about you and your new pack.
Oh?
Oh, I knew you had a penchant for Silverfangs. I did not realize it was Unbreakable Hearth. Wink.
There's a bit of a smirk. Harrier suits very well.
I'm sure it does.
Don't worry. She like reaches up and like, not even thinking about it, gives his shoulder a pat. You're still my favorite silver. Don't tell anyone though.
I'm a child of Eagle. I'm a child of Eagle, not Harrier, sadly. Same family, just a bit more extreme. The smirk.
You can still be my favorite.
And yet you haven't spoken a word to me about Cassie yet.
No. Starts, the idol like playing with her nails type thing. Oh, I haven't. Then again, I got home before we did, so.
So, is that all?
No. No, she was integral to taking down the daughter. She gave a lot to give us a window.
As Cassie usually does.
She threw everything into it. And worked. Ellie glances over. Worked. I thought the daughter fell and all of her people started fleeing. And I jumped on Cassie, jumped over her to make sure that she wouldn't get trampled. I saw her breathing, and I thought she'd make it. By the skin of her teeth again,
It's a hell of a thing to have the privilege to say goodbye to the people.
Yeah. She actually kind of smiles. She got the sad eyes, but it's still a smile. Yeah.
He doesn't say anything, he just stares out because Charlotte will know every pack member he's lost has died in his arms, essentially. Every last one of them.
This is the first time Charlotte's had the privilege. It wasn't even her pack mate. There's about 500,000 things I wanted to say, but I hope that what I said was enough.
I'm sure it was. In the end, you were there. For some people, that is enough.
Just a tight little nod. I hope so.
Came on the sept.
Hmm?
Cassie, when she first arrived. Tiny little Snow White met us. Terrified of everyone.
How long ago was
We all
that?
thought that she wouldn't even. 4 years ago? We all thought she would never make Cleath. She just seemed so content to stay as a cub for a year, 2 years. Finally came up, just as all you did. I got the impression she was a cub before she came here as well, so. Wherever she was. I heard it was Chicago, but I know would know exactly. I thought she would become a Shadow Lord just based off her smell, but no, she went for the Children of Gaia.
Yeah.
Eventually, I was going to tell her that she needed to challenge for fostering. In fact, when the gathering of the departed is done, I will make sure that she is a foster.
It's a very it's that I'm not gonna cry, you're gonna cry little glance over, because it's thankful.
She deserved that much. She earned it long before her death.
She did.
But in the end, I think it is hard to say. But in the end, I think that it is better that she is at peace.
At least now she's in good company and not in pain. Not there.
She was in such pain.
She was. Yeah.
Don't judge Abel for being angry.
She kind of glances aside. Can't.
The Striders will have a tough time.
It was so good to see
They
them
will
catching
not.
their stride again.
They are. They still will. They have two budding new backmates. They will. But Abel is not the same man he was.
No.
I know because he challenged me for Adrian right after he got back.
She looks a glance over, like, wait.
He put Cassie's body in the Hood of the Dead and came to me. I'm an Adrian, remember? Stares over at her.
She kind of grins. Yeah, I know. Just. Jesus. Is it a quick thing already done, or is it still in front of him?
Some time to. Not yet. I don't detect people. The challenge is already set, and he will have time to do it then. He knows what he has to do.
He just kind of offers a light nod.
It's just one hell of a thing to see someone you saw develop a very impetuous figure. Both you and he were the most adjustable to do the whole process that I've seen, even though he was born into it and you weren't.
He just kind of flicks a glance over.
It's interesting to see both of you, one an Adrian and one about to be. You both are.
I suppose we didn't turn out like you imagined we would.
No, not really. I thought you would become what Abel is now.
It's kind of a squint.
Bitter.
Kind of sets her lips into a bit of a line. That's not the best of news. I had very good friends to keep me from becoming bitter. Been easy.
Hmm. In a way, that's more of a statement designed to pen. I wouldn't say that statement to him. It's my advice.
I wouldn't.
No, because he would probably hit you. Smirk.
Well, he'd probably do more than hit me just once.
I mean, to be fair, even I'm kind of looking at you
That's not a statement that.
a bit side. Okay.
It's not a statement meant to damn him.
Yeah. You need to work on your words. But then again, you're a Faldox, not a Galliard. Wink.
Oh, so I'm not talking to Abel right now, am I?
No, but I cannot help but Galliard.
It's just the mild eye roll. Kind of like that flashback to like kid sister eye roll. Nothing serious. It's a credit to people like you. Gives him a bit of a nudge on the shoulder. Not decrying someone. I can't speak for Abel. Can't speak for his perspective. I can't speak for what made him think and feel the way he does. But for me, it would have been very easy to be bitter.
Shrugs.
I had good people who kept my head above water.
I know you had the best Silverfang doing it for you.
Well, see, there you go. Credit where credit's due.
And when he says Silverfang, you know it's the way he says it, Katie.
I do. I die a little. Try not to fucking fall off the bench laughing.
I'll make sure the theurges have everything ready for you.
A bit of a nod. Hopefully this goes like dominoes. That'd be fucking nice.
It'll take some time.
She gives a nod.
You might even be probably dragged in, I would imagine. So we will see.
Whoever it takes and whatever it takes.
Then again, I would keep her as far away from Zori as I, smirking over. Far
Sorry,
away.
who?
Zori.
Who else was he talking about? I missed the first name.
I would keep her far away from Zori.
Who's her?
Melanthe.
Sorry, I didn't
He
hear
said
the
your
first name.
theurge.
Alright.
He didn't say a name. He said your theurge.
Sorry. It fudged a little, so I had missed it.
She's in a room. She'll give her warnings. Don't worry. It's not like it's hostile.
Is it not?
No, it is more of that is the face that she would like to punch. We've all known Zori for a while. She will probably imagine Melanthi's face as she's punching things, but she'll take no hostile action. Zori is not the type. Unless provoked. Aruns have a very difficult time explaining things.
It's not that hard to understand why she would place blame.
It happens in battle. That is why, as much as you would like to help, perhaps maybe you should not. Sometimes people need to heal themselves.
No, I'm not gonna bother Zuri.
Just gives her you essentially just got the dad stare from Skyripper, essentially. It is I know you, young lady. Do you know what I mean?
Looks a glance over and kind of shrugs.
Well. Today then we'll get a drink then.
It's funny, I have discovered through vast amounts of trial and equally vast amounts of error that there are some things I cannot do and some conversations I should not have.
No, I wasn't getting a drink for that.
For what then?
The day Charlotte Sullivan decided not to help somebody clearly in need. Smirking. I told myself I would pour the finest vodka.
Does it help if it's not for lack of desire to help so much as a sensible idea that what I would be doing isn't helping?
Depends on your perspective. I mean, Len has punched me, I don't know how many times in the face every time I went to talk to her when she was upset. Rides did too. Many times.
I can give her space for at least a little while.
You just shrugs, like I said. You're a big girl now. I can't hold your hand all the time.
Do you expect me to as a pattern of behavior? Do you expect me to because you think it would actually do any good? Just study
Why are you
little
asking
glance.
Why are you wondering and seeking my approval so much on your own morality? That's the better question.
My morality isn't really in question. My actions are.
Well, it depends. Depends, really. Smirks. Like I said, I have my opinions of you, but they're my opinions. I can keep them to myself if I want.
I suppose you can. Sadly, there
It's
is
just,
not a lot I can do to pry it out of you if you don't want to tell me.
Precisely. Like I said, perhaps maybe you have been hanging around with all the hardened people of late.
Or maybe. Do you like pokes his sweater? Maybe. They have 2 new pack mates and a new loss, and this is a time for them to establish who they are and help each other, and I don't need to stick my nose in and make it harder.
If that's what you think of yourself to them, okay. Smirking.
I think it's an awful lot
Okay.
to deal with already. I'll give them some time.
That's more than fine. That is your opinion. You are a big girl now.
And as for me asking, maybe I care about your opinion ranks aside. How about that?
You've been stressing to me, feel like you disconnect from everyone. For a long time, you've come to me here and told me repeatedly under various states of duress and various states of anxiety and various states of babbling and various states of panicking And right now, people have been patient, and people have helped you, and people have took you by the hand through everything. I mean, nobody's going to say anything, and it's not the condemned Charlotte Brigade. Don't take it as that, because it's not. This is just a Galliard having his opinion. I think it would be something fitting. Maybe when they don't expect any help, they get it. Perhaps maybe instead of assuming that they have everything under control on their plate. I mean, even if they do, a hand extended is better than a hand that never came at all. Because they'll remember the hand that came out to them. They'll remember it. Even if they don't need it.
It's a bit of a nod.
They might need it. They might need it today. They might need it tomorrow. Like I said, it just seems interesting after everything. And you still assume everything about everybody. Maybe that's the biggest problem you're having. Boops around the nose.
Maybe. Like, swats at the hand after the boop. Not fast enough to prevent the boop. Maybe.
Or maybe you're hanging around with that grumpy Fury too much. Smirking.
Oh, I've always got one grump or another.
Yeah, well, who knows?
Oh, indeed. I could do something truly anomalous and learn from past mistakes.
Nah, you're not capable of that. Smirking.
No. Might be asking too much.
Yep, sorry.
Mm. Okay, so fair call. Mr. Just a Galliard's opinion. Pretty solid opinion. And thankfully one I place a lot of value on. So I'll keep it in mind and I'll take it to heart. It's not the worst advice I've ever been given.
Well, good. I'm glad it's not.
Smiling. She actually will lean over for just a second. And finally, just like clunk her head on his shoulder. Just like, again, just long enough to be like, thanks.
No problem.
Straightens herself back up. Is conspicuously keeping the waterworks to bare minimum levels. But well, that said, kind of glances over. Did you get full word back from the terms between the Court of Wisconsin and Woolsma? And
There's a nod.
you want to know why the hiss breath? Do I want to know why you're hissing your breath?
Just, it's weird to see the Court of Wisconsin Wormfoe. That's all. It's just some Silver Fang politics. Nothing to worry your Glasswalker head about. It ruffles her hair.
Oh, wow. Shall I just turn a conveniently blind eye?
Yes.
The head's gonna come up like, okay, all right. Just gonna, yep. Well, on the good news side of things, because we do have a little of that. Lost Flame is flourishing. Had an influx of kinfolk. They're building. Their guru coming to join them.
It's good. It's really good.
Thought it might be nice to softball a good thing or two in there.
Good news is always welcome.
You have any idea what drew the well, almost what? Saw at least half of that pack down there. You have any idea what tempted them to take so many of them that far south? Besides, obviously, the fact that there's a cairn there, but.
Perhaps they were trying to expand their territory.
Mm.
We had been seeing them down south before Runefur's group turned up. Perhaps they thought that they could try a different strategy, and, well, looks like running into Runefur means that they had to adjust, and thankfully Abel and his crew spotted it. Maybe helping Runefur in turn had a long-term consequence.
I dare say I'd call that a benefit rather than a consequence.
Well, I mean, in terms for the spirals.
Mm. I mean, they must have had some sort of tactical plan. The Black Blade was down there.
Like I said, Blackblade is a lot more strategic. I imagine what he was trying to do is have all of us focus on the east, come up from the south.
Would have been a hell of a thing if it had worked.
It would.
Glad Abel thought on his feet so fast.
Perhaps. Perhaps then maybe they've had encouragement of late. After all, I had been hearing that people had been recommending them, so.
No?
Well, I'd sent Abel down south to keep an eye on things based on people's recommendations. Name one of those was you.
An innocent face. That was a damn good call.
So,
Turns out.
perhaps maybe we just got lucky.
Or, crazy thought, perhaps you were just smart enough to put the right people in the right places. It wasn't luck at all.
Who knows? It's a mystery for the ages.
Mystery. Real enigma. One day spirits will ask riddles about it, I'm sure.
Yep. Now, is that all, Charlotte?
I think that's the better bulk of it, and certainly the only parts I need to bother you with.
Good.
like I like talking to you or anything. Jeez.
Oh no, I can't imagine it.
But you are not the only person on my dance card. So, if I may, warm foe,
Go ahead.
catch you tomorrow.
All right. Catch you tomorrow.
And she'll hop up, and I mean, she's not weird about Skyripper, so she does give him an idle pat on the shoulder as she's getting up, and yeah, she has so much shit to do. God damn it.
Can we go now?
Oh, da-na-na. It's time to well, I mean, she said she'd keep Maria involved, so she'll as she's puttering, tug out the phone and text Maria to ask. It's now a good time.
Maria will just respond. Well, he's at home anyway.
Yeah, that's about as good a time as I can ask for. I'll take it. Unless you think I should wait.
Fucking ditzy ass over here and do it with it. Jesus, I mean,
Oh,
just
don't
stick your
worry.
tongue in the face.
I'm ditzing along the speed of sound.
She sends a gif of like a person literally like doing the weird like funny bob walk. You know what I mean?
Well, at least it puts a smirk back on her face before she gets back around to, you know, coming around to the house.
Out in the familiar Sentinel stages, you see him. Big Papa, big Papa Leaf, Big Papa Leaf.
Big Papa Leaf. Does Big Papa Leaf have a particular reaction to her approach?
He ain't looking at you yet. He's reading.
She will take advantage of being dismissed for the moment and, yeah, do what, well, she normally does when things aren't weird. And just, yeah, comes up on the porch, putters over, sits next to him on the swing.
Just looks over. Yeah.
Bridled enthusiasm, my favorite.
I just go yes. Yeah.
Exactly. She's just like, oh, unbridled enthusiasm, my favorite. It's good to see you too.
I suppose it is.
It is. I haven't seen a lot of you lately.
I have been busy.
Do I hear? So,
Just kind of gives her that like, yeah, continues reading. You know what I mean? Like, great.
so he looks over.
Yes.
I wanted to lead with an apology. Making assumptions the last time we were talking.
Making assumptions.
Making assumptions.
And what were you making assumptions of?
I feel like I said them pretty clearly, and revisiting it is not exactly productive. But I was being unfair.
I am used to your opinions of my ways.
Scrunches her nose a little bit. That bad a trend?
Hmm?
Is it that bad a trend?
It can be.
Oh shit. Well, in the interest of. Oh, fuck it. Might wanna. Well, I should ask. Are you game to mark your page for a second?
Takes an intake of breath and looks up. Fold.
I lost you for about half a second there. He does what?
He closes the book.
I Before I had to go back to Wisconsin, I spent an evening walking to Freya. And she asked me to come talk to you. And man, she is measuring. Because
and you actually cut out for me. You went blank, and then you went, man, she's measuring. I'm like,
sorry. She said, before I went back to Wisconsin, I spent an evening talking with Freya, and she asked me to come and talk to you.
It just takes, like he does. He takes a breath, much like that. And you look over, flicking some of his long hair out of his face.
And she regrets the things that she said. She told me some of them. She very much regrets saying such harsh things. And it's not an excuse, I suppose, but there are things she said out of fear.
I see.
She kind of glances around. I assume the porch is well clear because at this point people have been giving a pretty decent, respectable birth to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the only one's likely to hear anything are his packmates, and that's probably only if he's sharing his ears. She she thought, she assumed first that the reason that you wanted time away, the reason that you might not be able to see each other, was that, well, was tied to your names. She overreacted. She was also afraid that the state she's been left in she kind of pauses. You can tell it's one of those things that it's just hard to say because it hurts her to think it, really. It's. She kind of struggles with it for a second. level, I think she was afraid that you would reject her for not being able to give you a family. And she's, yeah, still glancing periodically, not ever, hitting the eyes directly, but periodically just kind of glancing to keep a running idea of how his mood is going up, down, and sideways. So she knows when to pause, when to shift it. Are you still hearing me?
Yes, yes. No, again, he's watching.
So she asked me. Oh, pardon. I should. She's I don't think she's forgiven herself for the things she said. She knows they were wrong. She's sorry for them. But I hope that you won't see her as weak for asking me to come in her stead, and to say that after all that was said, she would understand if you didn't return to her, but very much hopes that you will.
Hmm. He does stay quiet for a bit, like a hot minute.
And she gives him time to just think, because it's Leaf. Sometimes he just likes to quietly think.
Explain to me that again. She said these things in anger.
I think that what she said to you, the harsh things that she said, I don't think it was out of anger so much as fear. It was even she admits they were unfair things to say. And even talking to her, she's beating herself up about it. She says that there's some days where she can go through them very readily, and there are some days where she struggles. And that the day this happened was one of the days that she was struggling. And when you spoke to her, she assumed at first that it came down to names and families, made her angry. On top of that, she was afraid that she would lose you. She lashed out. I think the fear of not being able to provide the kind of future for you that most of us want with a significant other was something that had been eating at her for much longer. Not something you ever said or did, just the kind of thing you can't blame her for fearing. It all just mounted up.
It was not about that. Why I talked to her. It was not about the provision of children or doing one's duty.
I think for a second that it was, but I think that on some level, knowing that it's something you can't give makes you fear that people will reject you for not being able to do it.
Hmm.
Have you, pauses, glances over?
I didn't say anything, he just stared.
I assume, shouldn't assume. Have you seen her on her bad days?
Yes. Yes, I have.
It was it was a bad day when it all happened. When I left here, I went to her cabin. I had to cover the mirrors. I had to take some things out of her room. And she said that even in the midst of fighting with you, she was having thoughts that weren't her own.
These are. We just think, sits there thinking. He looks very deep in thought, very, very deep in thought.
Yeah, and she is, as much as she loves to natter on, she is doing her level best to just sit quietly and let him roll everything around and look at it really well and try to fit it into the way he sees things. She's just there to answer his questions and help him understand and hopefully help. So she eventually just kind of tips her head down, looking at her hands, and lets him do his thing. I suppose start spinning her ring or something, anything really to just, or actually, I guess she has gloves on, so probably just, pinching the tips of the gloves where they're a little bit longer than the fingers, just something, really, anything.
And he just sits there for a long time, and he just turns. It is safer for her if she is not with me.
And I ask why.
He thinks. Besides, because of who we are, I will take her family and mine are difficult, but it is not just those reasons. It is because, in the end, it is no matter how I have relations with Freya, we will always come back to what we are and who we are. I am not you and your fiance. We are not those seeking to change our perspectives.
You're not? She just kind of agrees, instead of fighting it this time.
I am trying to I have my people I must care for. I have the things I must do. I have new responsibilities. These responsibilities require me to make decisions, and these decisions will lead to enemies.
She gives a light nod as she has been very recently made aware of just how dangerous their job is.
I do not want that life for her. I do not want her worrying every day. I do not want her sitting there, staring at a window, fretting.
Right?
I do not want her to mourn again.
Probably kind of a soft expression flipped over. Think she would mourn you any less.
It
Your
is better to have the wound done now. It is better to have it done so she can move on rather than be snatched away.
all right. I am not going to try to push you to change your mind, but may I present a couple things to think about in regards to that decision? And if you answered, I did not hear you.
No, no, he's listening. He's just staring at her.
Ah, it's quite the stare.
It's not like this enraged stare. It's more like, you're giving me your opinion. Well, let's hear it then. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
It's that type of thing.
So, perhaps the strongest of these thoughts is that this may not be the life that you envisioned for her, but one could argue it might be fair to explain these risks and threats to her and give her the chance to choose.
I tried.
The last crew that she was bonded to was in our room. She knows the risks and the threats. It hurt. But all the time that she was with him, Leaf, she didn't just stare out the window and wonder. She just celebrated every time he came home.
I'm not a Fianna Arun, Charlotte.
Hmm?
I'm not a Fianna Arun, Charlotte.
You're not. She's not a Fianna either.
He just sighs and just shakes his head.
The point isn't that it was only because it was him, but because it was her. She's been raised here. She knows who the Geta Fenris are, and she knows that any given day a member of her family might not come home. She knows better than to mourn it before it's time. I'm not saying that you're wrong and that these things aren't hard. I'm just offering the idea that maybe it wouldn't hurt her as much as you think it would. To know that you're in danger and all of us are. It's not that she doesn't care, of course, just she understands, I think, better than you might realize.
Hmm. We can't have the life she wants.
Why?
You know why? Have you talked to her?
I did. And no, maybe not. But doesn't mean you can't still have a good one.
Has dogged me ever since I came here, bar one.
Sorry, say that again?
Her family has dogged me ever since I arrived here, bar one, which is the hint of Lily. You know what I mean?
She nods.
Kept our relations in private. But should we commit to this fully? Because secrets will eventually come out. They will continue, perhaps even more so, to dog me. Because I am Leif Ulrichsen. I am the second cousin of Marcel Ulrichsen. The same man who unjustly did what he did to one of theirs, to Freya's own sister.
You are?
I have been insulted, threatened, and have had attempts of intimidation from members of her family and her sect. In Wolves Maw, I have had my pack done the same. In the end, I have made my decision and taken off of this pack, which I know has ruffled many feathers. Freya is an independent woman and a strong woman, but I will not have my path bring her more pain and sadness. She has struggled enough.
don't know that you haven't thought of it, but what if she suffers more pain and struggle being separated from you than she could bear by your side? Right. She's strong and she's independent. And while she's been with you, she's been very much herself.
And I saw what those same women did to a person who did his best for Juno, did his best with what was given, tried his best with what was given, and was henpecked out.
Can't say I know. I wasn't there.
Friend was Alice. The same person who just pauses and takes a breath. He's like, nope, not mad. Nope, calm. Do you know what I mean? Just a
Yep.
big
The
rumble of
lips.
breath, essentially. Like I am calm.
Yep, the lips kind of roll in. She knows how that thought line ends. These steps have been made, but your family's at odds. Steps could be made in the other direction. I'm not saying that I think you'll magically fix it. I'm not that naive anymore. But while she could shoulder a great deal, she was feeling more herself. She's struggling far more now, without even leaving her home.
It's a difficult decision.
It is. It's not like you want, it's one you have to make right now in this moment. But
Although it seems to be what you're hinting.
no. She kind of smiles
No,
faintly, glancing over. Well, take the time that you
it
need.
seems to be.
Be fair to you. And she finally, looks back over at him. Like, again, she's not crazy enough to make eye contact. That stare is too much. But she does, look him on properly when she says, "That wouldn't be fair to you." So he can, see her expression, see that she's earnest.
Why are you investing so much in this?
Well, for one, I care a lot about both of you. It hurts to see both of you so unhappy. In this case, sitting here right now, she asked me to come and talk to you. Be told I know what I hope, but it's not my choice to make. I just want to know that whatever choice you do make it knowing as much as possible, so that at least you're standing by something that was made with all of the available information, so that you can know it was the right decision to make.
Mm.
Yeah, truth be told, kind of glances up again and, offers the tiniest little quirk of a smile. I miss seeing you smile.
There's like a tiny shadow of a smirk.
Oh, she can't help it. Her
Just
own
a
grows
tiny
a
one.
little bit. It's a kind of unconscious response, but hers grows the slightest bit. I know that cold stare thing is pretty renowned, but there's something very endearing about watching the eyes shatter when you smile.
I bet there is.
There is. She sits herself up a little bit, very official. There absolutely is.
I take it you have met Sylvia then.
Hmm?
In the court of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Hmm. She smirks.
She kind of flits a little squint over.
What?
Now, why would you go bring that up?
I know you.
Hmm? Lips roll in a
Sniffs out
little
an
bit.
uncomfortable breath. I know you for a long time now. I thought I would get it out of the way.
Yep, I better. She asked if you were still staying on our sept.
Hmm. Did
And
she?
was she did.
She still writes to me.
Oh,
She asked me to write to her. I do not know why.
kind of a skeptical little side glance.
What? Over?
What?
I was I was hardly not going to say I was hardly going to say no.
I suppose not. Funny then that she'd ask if you were still here. And she knows where her letters are going.
I have replied to her. I have been vague in my reply, but that is about it.
I assume we're completely neglecting to mention anything about the contents of these quite on purpose.
Look over. You're the one with the dirty mind, not I.
Hey, I didn't say it had to be dirty. Jeez. Not the romance novel type. That's
And it is
romantic.
not. It is not merely romantic drivel.
She just kind of heaves a shrug. That just very plain, like, I mean, I have no idea. Not as though she has expectations, just.
I am sure you will have your opinion.
I mean, I do always have an opinion. Guilty, that certainly, but in the end, someone you connected with from another sept, you want to write to her, write to her.
Hmm.
My delicate opinion aside, hardly going to be able to tell you what to do. Kind of grins.
No, but eventually you will be marrying into the same family that would henpeck me out of this sept for the slightest inclination wrong.
But never let it happen.
You say that,
I do.
and that is endearing but futile of you.
Well, in the interest of putting my proverbial money where my mouth is, I I went and I learned a few things about get marriages. It's very enlightening. And as
That
it
is
turns
good
out,
for you. Just gives a frown, like, why the fuck are you
and
talking about weddings to me? You know what I mean?
as it turns out, you might imagine that having my parents present would not go spectacularly.
I do not know your parents.
They're not from within the nation.
Let me see.
Mm. So, considering that my current father is not the one that contributed genetic material to my making, it might be less than beneficial to, have them here. Never mind the paperwork and screaming that would be involved trying to get them here. And I'm just saying, it would really suck if you were still scowling when I asked you to sub in. Glances over.
What?
I mean, someone's got to do it, right? And of all the people on Sept, I love Lena. She did a lot. I love Junkyard Dog. They both did a lot for me, bringing me up here. But they're not the ones I went running to every time I was upset. They're not the ones that held me up.
Lena did not help you up.
Kind of smirks. Lena did a lot. But I didn't confide in her all the time the way I've confided in you. She and I have only gotten really close lately. After I was a Cleoth.
Hmm. Just smirks and looks off.
Treasure her a lot, but every time I've been upset or I've been in the worst way, you're the person I come to. You're the person who's helped me up, helped me. And I know there are others I could ask, but looking into the heart of it, you're the person that suits the most for me. You're the person I'd most like to be there, making sure I don't trip over my own feet. And I don't care what your last name is. I know it's important, I know it's part of who you are, but to me, you're Leaf and you're the person who's taking care of me a lot. but I really needed it. And I needed it so bad I couldn't ask for it.
Very well then. Gives an awkward nod, like, okay.
She kind of, especially with the awkward face, she like leans over, lets herself smile just a little bit. You don't have to say yes if you don't want to.
I have just said yes.
She snickers and sets herself back up again. Now, if only we could get you smiling again.
Hmm. Just doesn't say anything, just blankly stares off. Like,
Just kind of like does the little lean glance, but if he's in the zone on it, she's not going to be able to break through with just that.
Yep, nope. He just goes, that's a yes. Well, I will do that then.
Good. Would have been really awkward if you'd said no.
I imagine it would be.
Oh, yeah. There probably would have been at least moderate waterworks. Just firm nod. Taking the piss. Well,
Well, what?
contrary to my prior behaviors, I am going to actually give you time to think and do and all of that. So, unless you'd prefer the company,
You can do your thing.
I glance over.
It kind of gives her a look like you have just dropped a fucking bomb on me, so and you've been hassling me about the Freya thing, so give me some fucking space. It's just all
Yeah.
in one look,
It's
essentially.
basically the glancing to see if he's earnest about like, no, go ahead and fuck off. And yep, she gives a little nod. Back around later. That's reading. And yeah, she'll hop up.
Sure.
Hmm?
You just go, sure.
And yeah, she'll go ahead and start just kind of pertly fucking off. Just do on the steps.
So where you going, bud?
She'll probably pull out her phone once she gets, a respectable distance away. Check to see where Felix is. See if he's still over with Freya. Or is back home.
Back at the big house.
Back at the big house.
He's back at Tribbittson HQ, Freya's house. Told you he hasn't left there since fucking Freya had her episode.
Oh, it looks like she gets to check on both of them at the same time. Yeah. So she's gonna toddle, and head that away. She just responds, he's like, at the Tribbuson HQ. And she's like, all right. All your base are belong to me, and starts heading that way.
You just replied, you can tell fucking Freya that.
There's like ... and then like the most ridiculous nope gif she can find. Then yeah, toddle's over.
Plays with the smug, that's what I thought. You know? And yeah, Felix is there. You actually probably see him like puttering around. Got the big jacket on.
Is he inside or outside?
He's inside.
With his big coat. Ridiculous. Yeah, she'll, kick the snow off her shoes and head in. And they poke her head around to wherever he's puttering. Kind of glance around, see if Freya's downstairs or if she's already in bed.
You can assume she's upstairs. She's not downstairs at all.
How's it?
It's all right.
Yeah? I'm very non-committal.
That's been a very non-committal day.
A very non-committal day.
Yeah. She's all right.
That's... You know what? That's good. I'll take it. And how are you?
How am I?
Mm-hmm.
Not been too bad.
Like, comes over and, like, tries to do that thing where you slither, like, into the guy's coat to hug him.
Just give her a stare as you do it.
If he doesn't have it buttoned, she is now inside the coat. It's ridiculous and huge. She can do this. What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nope, nothing.
Like I said, she's been alright.
Oh.
She's getting there. After some bad episodes, she normally takes like a few days to recover.
And it's getting better.
Yeah. Rubs his chin. You can obviously, she has been getting better. It's just plainly obvious Felix worries about her.
Have you eaten?
Yeah, no, I've been fine.
Okay. Good.
It's just Yeah, you can't help but worry.
No, I can't help it. But funny thing, turns out you're pretty much the best thing for her. So there's that.
Hmm. I manage.
You sure you're doing okay?
I have my opinions. It's nothing. Just shrugs.
Well, if you want a chance to see him, I'll give you a free range.
Nah, it's probably not a good idea.
I mean, probably not, but kind of shrugs.
Like I said, it's not just Leaf I'm angry with.
Kind of flicks a glance up.
Where's Mom? Hey?
Your mom's kind of outside the loop on this one.
Oh, just rolls his eyes.
I mean, if she knows, then Lena will know, and then Lena will be out baying for blood, and this will take an even further nosedive.
Hmm.
You're not wrong. You're not.
Like I said, everyone pretends, oh no, Freya, you know? But in the end, there's only a couple of people that actually come over and fucking see her.
Also, just a little bit of a nod, because there's really no sense in making excuses. Though she doesn't.
It's easy for Guru, I suppose. They heal it. Sure, they have scarring, but in the end, everybody worships them. It's a bit fucking hard when you're maimed and you're kinfolk.
There's just kind of a sheepish sort of nod, because let's face it, she lived life for, what, 18, 19 years without this, but even a year or two with it, and it's easy to forget how hard it is. So, yeah, it's a little sheepish, honestly. She probably idly kind of like rubs it, or, up at the breastbone, like, eh. Yeah. It's, I think it's easy for people to forget how hard it was before.
Hmm. Everyone likes to forget about kinfolk in the end.
Well, he turns a little bit of a
Especially,
frown over.
especially ones they can't readily store like stock, you know?
Well, at least on a personal level, I'm gonna have to disagree. Gives him a faint smile, if only because, let's face it, he wasn't her kin when they met. That was hardly any of her fucking business. Don't all forget.
Suppose not.
I suppose it doesn't help that the whole thing's been kind of sequestered. But some of us have been by. Not as many as there should be. Not by a long shot.
Like I said, apart from the few.
I'm sorry for that.
It's something we're not used to. At least everybody actually comes and talks to Freya. Shrugs, as he goes to put on the kettle.
So it's kind of a little bit of a pained look. I don't know what to tell you except that I'm here, but don't imagine I'm exactly the source of the problem. A lot of people just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And she finally, reach out to, just try to touch his hand, see if she can snag it.
Where are you coming to do this? Is the
Just,
question.
I mean, is he even remotely looking at her?
Nope. Like he's turned to face the kettle, you know what I mean? Like pouring out probably like a mug of, tea and or whatever.
At that point, she'll probably walk up beside him first. And just, reach out to touch the fingertips. Not, snagging the hand immediately, just initially just kind of present that her hand is there by touching the fingertips, and if there's not a yank back, we'll grasp the
No,
hand.
he doesn't push away.
What's eating you?
Nothing.
Come on.
What?
She kind of grins. If I was that easy to shake off,
I'm
wouldn't
fine.
know each other near as well as we do.
I'm fine.
Yeah, but it's bothering you. I know other people aren't here to talk. You can talk to me.
I know.
And yeah, just keep a light hold on the hand. Just running the thumb on the back of it a couple times before she, just kind of lets it chill there. Lean forward. Anyone in particular not talking?
It's not about that.
What about?
It's nothing. Nothing to worry about.
It's kind of a little bit of a stubborn crowd. There's nothing. It'd be nothing. Something. I don't like seeing you upset.
I'm fine.
You say that about as convincingly as I do.
Just takes an inlay of breath. He hasn't poured the tea or anything. He just you can see him. He just inlay of breath.
She stops pushing for the moment, just lets him take a breath in. Do the fingers, like, I mean, I don't know if he, like, grasped back at all. Would she,
Oh, he did. He gave the light kind of light touch. You know what I mean? They always does.
Mm-hmm. Does it loosen up at all when he's getting further irritated?
No, no, no.
Okay.
His hand kind of feels kind of slightly a bit clammy, but that's about it.
Is he looking at anything in particular? Is he doing anything, like showing any
No,
twitchiness or anything like that?
he's a bit pale, but he's kind of stock still. If you get me.
Is he, and he doesn't like have his eyes locked on something in particular?
No, it's actually more vacant. If you get me. He seems far away.
Right here with you. She finally kind of
Yeah.
tentatively rubs the thumb on the back of his hand.
We had a visitor today.
Oh.
Our Timmy. She came asking about Freya. She said she hadn't seen her in a few days. She was worried.
All right.
I mean, I told her everything was fine.
She believe you?
I don't really care.
Did she say something wrong?
No. No, I just told her everything was fine. Nothing to worry about. She politely got rid of her. Must be nice for them fucking Furies, though, right? All they care about is just you actually see him swallow. No, it must be nice for them to sit down and talk to the girls about it because everyone cares because their faces are fucked up and must be nice to have that all the time.
So I can peony if you need me to, but the question is this a kind of bitterness in that he earnestly wishes he had that? Or a bitterness in that this is just the way he's putting it, but there's something that he's stressed about in relation to them being able to do it?
It's the second one. The fact that they can come in and talk and almost try and talk to Freya about her things, but nobody ever comes to talk to Felix about his, apart from Charlotte. You get the impression. And even then, it's a complicated array of emotions. He doesn't want to talk to Charlotte because he feels almost emasculated. That he has to be that vulnerable to her. Person that he has to be so strong for. You know what I mean? When it's clear that Felix, as you can see, and he has his own demons.
He does, and he has his own language and way of showing it that's really not evident if you don't know him. And let's face it, how many people know Felix that well?
Exactly. But it's almost this, it must be nice to have someone who tries. You know, it's that type of thing. It's, oh, well, it's okay if it's Freya who's hurt, but not me. You know what I mean? And it's not like he's jealous over Freya. I'm not giving you this. You have enough empathy score and you've known him for a while. It's not that he's jealous of Freya getting the attention. It's nobody ever asks apart from her, and he doesn't want to be breaking down in front of her because, well, Charlotte needs him to be, in his mind, strong to help her.
I imagine must be, but kinda smiles very lightly. Suppose even they don't always know what to look for.
Yeah. Suppose not.
Kinda smiles. Again, it's a fond little thing. No, it's even easier to overlook when you're being a big, strong brother over someone.
Yeah. Well, considering what my other brother did, I need to actually have some fucking decency, right?
Two are beyond comparing.
Yeah. Suppose so.
Think. So,
Yeah.
You know, even even back that first night that we talked properly, even I only got so much, and the little I got seemed so important. Because, I worried. He, reaches up, tries to, brush back a little bit of his hair. Because if no one else is looking and I didn't see it and I missed it, I worried nobody would. You're very good at hiding it. It's not like seeing that made me think you were weak or think any less of you. Just someone who is so good at suffering in silence that nobody else even knew to look. Guess what then? I was there for you. And you're no less Felix if I see it now. Hey? Used to talk so much over by the waterfall, and I haven't done that in a long time. Not that I don't listen, but don't worry. But if I don't ask, you won't tell.
Been under a lot of pressure.
You have. And turnabout's fair play. Here for you too. If you can deal with my tantrums and my fucking dramatic fits of pique, I can sure as hell be here. You can tell me. And the pressure's too much.
Is it bad that I don't want, and you have a pack or whatever? I don't want them all near us.
No.
I don't want them in the same apartment or building. Is that bad of me?
Can I ask why?
It's the place where I'm meant to feel safe and I can finally not be Felix Jerminson. I can finally twitches. Or I can not have to worry. And I take off my clothes, my shirt. I'm not going to be afraid of the reaction when they see it. Because they'll have a reaction. Or they'll try and talk to me about it. Or even worse, they'll just ignore me.
It's not bad of you.
I don't want to force you to do anything. I don't want to make decisions for you. I'm not trying to isolate you. Just scared of it.
You're nuts. Understanding. Well,
That's why when all your people get all creepily possessive, freaks me out.
it's a thoughtful nod. Just trying to think of when displays like that happened in front of Felix. Like just trying to tick back through her head.
Alice.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was all Alice, wasn't it?
Yep. A little bit of Gino too. A little bit of Gemma as well. There was a few. There was actually a good number of them, actually. Even not just Alice alone, there was a good number of them.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
I just, every time I see that, I know eventually I'm going to do something stupid.
What do you think you're gonna do that's stupid?
Do you really want to ask me that?
And she just kind of firms up the little handhold. It's been fairly light, but she, takes proper hold of the hand, gives it a light squeeze. You're my fiance. As far as the nation's concerned, you're my mate. You're my other half. I'll have to learn to like it. Because you're not going anywhere. Not unless you want to. I'm not gonna have you muscled around your own home. I'm not gonna have you muscled away from me. And I mean, certain instincts that I'm sure they're going to fucking show sooner or later. I'm just as possessive
If
of
I
them.
see that behavior in my house, I'll end up shooting one of them.
It never even crossed my mind to let any of them live in our apartment.
Even if they Like I said, I see any of it. I can feel it, you know?
What's it feel like?
Like I'm back there again. The way they held Freya.
Oh, that little pained look. It's sympathetic. It's just, oh god.
And the way they regarded that look they all give me. I'm just a kinfolk. I can't do anything, can I? Couldn't do anything then. Couldn't do anything when they held Freya. I can do something now.
Never been helpless. Talk to me. And if they treat you like they think you're helpless, put them in fucking line.
Like I said, it's the behavior. That possessive. I have to knock at your door. I have to do. He just closes his eyes. My alpha, you know?
She just kind of nods.
Because Freya was theirs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could hear it in my fucking head. Down in that fucking maze. That fucking sewer that they put us in. I could hear her screaming and screaming.
Just don't forget what they got for treating you the way they did. You still got her. Even
Sorry,
then.
you said that really whispery. I
Oh,
actually
sorry.
did not
She's
pick that up.
basically going, just don't forget what they got for dismissing you. Don't forget that in the end, you proved them wrong.
Yeah, well, I'll prove him wrong again.
It's not.
So if I see that, there's a reason why I keep a lot of guns in the house. Reason why there's a knife at the top of the wall I can pull down. There's a gun in the left, whatever dresser.
Dare say that anyone who thinks you're helpless is making a grave mistake.
It's not about. It's not about that. They already. Like I said, if I see it,
Just not.
if I hear it, And if they look at me, just, I can't. I can socialize, I can bullshit, I can do whatever the fuck. Just can't handle all of them in my house.
Won't.
It's,
It's okay. You're gonna have limits. It's okay.
like I said, I'm not trying to isolate you from people.
No. I'd never think you were trying to do something like that. I'd never think that's what you wanted. But it's okay for you to have a limit. It really is. And if that limit is our front door, then so be it. You need to have a place where you can just be Felix. Where you don't have the pressure and you don't have the eyes. Then I will give you that place. Not because you're making me, but because I care. And I want you to feel safe. And I want you to have what you need. It's alright.
He just nods, like doing the forehead touch essentially, like looking down at the ground.
She bows her head in for it. You're not just a kinfolk, you're my other half. How can I be happy if you're not?
Yeah.
Set boundaries.
Okay.
It's a little nod. Just the tiniest one. He can feel it more than anyone's gonna see it.
I'm gonna go check on Freya.
Okay.
He just, he gives her hands a squeeze. You know what I mean? He's not distant or anything, and it's just this is what I'm trying to convey without breaking down in front of you. But it's that it's Charlotte will recognize it's very, there's a series of complex emotions there that he's trying to be. Yeah, I'm Felix, but god damn it, he's vulnerable. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's that type of vibe.
Yeah, at least this time she will let him flee with tea. Because he is going to where Freya is, so it's not like he's going off somewhere alone. He's going to his twin. And that's, I mean, she can hardly damn it when she has Freya doing the same thing. So yeah, she gives the hands a squeeze back and lets him walk.
I'm joining it there, but
Yeesh.